Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another video for Need for Speed Payback, and today I want to show you guys how to get one of the best cars in the game. In Need for Speed Payback there is a new system called Derelict cars. Basically, when you progress through the story, when you complete certain missions or certain kind of mission chains, you will then get tip-offs from some of the people you've raced against, and they will tell you about derelict cars in the area. You then go and discover the car, and you'll begin by finding the chassis, and you then have to go off and find some more parts to repair it. You then take it to the garage, build it back up, and you basically take this car from a complete wreck all the way up to a fully functioning vehicle, which can then go to be a supercar and can actually be one of the best cars in the game. These derelict vehicles can be restored into any of the 5 car categories, and they can also be spec'd much higher than most other vehicles. So they are, without a doubt, something that you should pursue. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to find the 1965 Ford Mustang. So if you do enjoy this, you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions, but let's get started. So first things first, in order to actually get this to show up, what you need to do is complete the La Katrina mission chain. There are basically 5 different racing missions, and then once you've done them, you finish off the 5th one, you defeat the kind of leader of the pack, so to speak, and then upon doing so, he will then give you a tip-off to the location of this vehicle. You then press your trackpad, you bring this up, and to begin with, you have a single clue. Now bear in mind, the game won't tell you exactly where to go. You have a little post-it note in the corner with a section of the map. You can then inspect this closer and pin it to your map, and it's then down to you to scan around the map and try and work out where that is in relation to where you are. Lucky for you guys, I already know where that is. So to begin with, in order to find the chassis for the Ford Mustang, you want to head up to the northeast part of the map to around here. I use the local tune-up shop to kind of fast travel to and then get from there, but the point is, you want to get over to this location. Once you're there, you'll then come into this kind of big open, I guess, parking lot. You'll find it underneath the shelter. It's very clearly marked. For any of these parts, whether it be the chassis or whether it be the parts you get after that, when you get within the general vicinity, you'll then basically get a little sort of tracker that'll pop up around your mini-map, and you can then use this and use the sounds to get yourself closer to the objects. Some of them are pretty easy to find, like this. You can simply drive up to them. Other ones you'll need to be a little bit more inventive in order to get to. So once you've then got the derelict vehicle, you will then have a quick cutscene to show you the restoration process, going from where it is right now up to the kind of standard version of the car and then up to a supercar. But it is of course going to be a little while before you get there yourself. So now you have the chassis, you're then on to the point where you then have to go and find 4 different parts. You bring your menu up again, you go over to the derelict tab, and you then have 4 different clues. You can jump between either one, you can pin any of them to the map, and you can then do them in any order that you wish. But I'm going to start from top left and work my way to the bottom right. So for the next one, what you then want to do is head over to the southwest portion of the map, down to around here. Now this one, interestingly, once you get into the area, you will see that if you try and drive too close to it, it's basically up on a rocky mound, and you can't just go and off-road off the rocks. What you actually want to do is go a little bit higher, and you'll see there is a wooden ramp. This one is quite simple. Just drive to the ramp, reverse up a little bit. You can't go too far, but if you just go full boost on your NOS, you can then jump over the ramp. You will land on this little platform in the middle, brake so you don't drive off the edge, and that is where you'll find the first of 4 parts. For the next one, we are heading to roughly the sort of center of the map. This one is just down to the left of the airfield where your garage is. So again, you can go to the tune-up shop as your local fast travel point and then work your way down to there. This one, much like the last one, is again located on a separate kind of island that you can't normally drive to. So if you go over towards the derelict looking wooden houses, again in the middle of that there is a ramp. Boost up it, jump over the top. Don't necessarily feel like you have to get a massive run up, because if you go too fast you will overshoot and you fall off the edge, so you'll need to try and sort of balance this out. Generally speaking, for most of these I find you can just go up to the ramp and reverse a tiny bit and just use your nitrous to boost yourself over, but whatever works for you. The point is, land there, and that is your second part. For the third one, we're going to be going to the complete opposite side of the airfield, this way over to the east. You want to drop to around this location here. Once you get into the vicinity, once you are kind of near this cliff face on the right, you will see that the marker begins to blink. So for this one, what you want to do is spin around, work your way up the hill, go quite a bit further up. This one's actually a slightly bigger distance, and again, you'll find a ramp here. It's not actually a wooden ramp like last time. You basically just have this elevated platform. Drive over there, jump off, and you'll then land down to this path, this dirt path, and you can work towards the third part from there. Then for the final one, we're heading to the northwest part of the map. You want to go up to basically where this hairpin is on the freeway. You can then go off the road, off the beaten track when you get to the actual hairpin part itself. Go past the fences, and again, there's a little ramp here. Just drive straight over it, and it'll drop you down in front of the final and fourth part. So, there you have it. Once you now have 4 parts, you can then take it to the garage. You then have the option to restore it in any way you see fit. Bear in mind, vehicles in Need for Speed Payback fall into one of 5 different categories. You have your race builds, your drift builds, your drag builds, runner builds, and your off-road builds. Now, typically if you go to the garage to buy cars, then some cars fall into these categories, others do not. Whereas the derelict vehicles can be restored in any way you see fit. So if you want to turn this Mustang into a drift vehicle, if you want it to be a drag race master, if you want it to be a speed vehicle, or you want it to be off-road, you can do whatever you want to with it. And then once you restore it, you then go into the actual garage itself, much like you would any other vehicle. You begin applying different cosmetic parts to it, the kind of body kit upgrades, and they will systematically replace the rusty parts. So do bear in mind the way that you unlock customization in this game. If you guys haven't seen my customization stuff, then you have to hit certain milestones. It might be things like perform drift, jump through billboards, complete certain races, do different things like that, and it'll basically unlock the ability to customize different portions of your car. So if you haven't got that far just yet, you're basically going to have a kind of half rusty, half refurbished vehicle, which is really cool actually, because it basically gives you the idea that you're actually working on a project car. And then gradually, once you replace all the parts, you have your bog standard vehicle, you have the kind of base version of that vehicle, and then later on you'll be presented with the opportunity to upgrade it even further to turn it into a supercar. So, for the time being, that's it. That is how you get the 1965 Ford Mustang, one of the best cars in the game. There is, of course, another one that you can actually check out in the Play First demo, and I'll be doing a video for that very soon, so do stay tuned for that. I'll show you guys how to get that one. There are more of these in-game. If you look through the store, you can see there are, I think there's about 6 or 8 of these, so there's definitely plenty for you to chase after, but for the time being, that's it. Hopefully you guys find it helpful. Thank you for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.